Three, two, one. G'day, everyone's SDS SuperCoach, providing SuperCoach content for you. Is here to present Jump On, Jump Off for round 12. And joining me for this series, as always, Brad from SuperCoach Pro. How are we going? Great, man.
Yeah, good. Thanks, mate. It's been a few weeks since we've been able to do this together, so I feel to jump on. But as you know, I'm pretty limited to time. But yeah, probably a week that these guys were pretty obvious anyway.
Yeah, very much so. Glad to see you back doing well, mate. And we'll get stuck into this as I'm about to burp. There we go. All right. The number one most traded out player is Zach Reed for the Bombers. I mean, I don't think we need to talk much about this. 4 to 6 weeks out, gone.
Go on. Yep.
Number two, we've got Cooper Simpson. There's not much money on his hand, but he has been ruled out for 8 to 10 weeks with an AC joint surgery. It is an awkward price to try to downgrade, upgrade. I'm on the fence with this.
I'm using him as a loop, but I see the world where you can make 40k if you wanted to get a 99k rookie that's playing, but probably a hold at this point.
Yeah, I agree. And I saw a stat where Freo have only have early games in round 15 and 23, so he can be a very reliable loop. Number three, we've got Sardell Hooley, who's done his hammy in the VFL for 4 to 6 weeks. Again, defensive mid DPP. Guess this is a hold.
Yeah, hold for me as well.
Number four, Luke Trainer, who played in a new role on Friday night, which was forward. Started well early, but faded out in the game with a break even now of 78. Probably a guy we look to move on.
Yeah, definitely trade. He's useless.
Yep. Number five, we've got Harry Sheasel. Now, this is an interesting discussion because 516k, past 2 weeks, he's been playing forward of the ball. He's got the bye. Is this enough? Is this time to move off, or do we think that there's not enough money on his head to do a move?
Probably not enough money unless you go down to Tom Stewart or something like that. But he plays West Coast after his bye. If you've got more concerning issues, it makes sense to do that instead of Sheasel. But if Sheasel's not your guy, you don't think he's top 10, then yeah, move him on for sure.
Yeah, if you want to move on Sheasel, do it now. Otherwise, there's not much point doing it. Number six, we've got Jack McRae. I think this one's pretty simple. I mean, if you held, you may as well keep holding.
Yep, doesn't make sense if you're trading him now. Should have done it last week if you're gonna.
Yeah, absolutely. In most scenarios, anyway, if he's back round 14, two week injury can be a hold. So, yeah, if you moved him on, hopefully it was last week, not this week. Number seven, Max Hall with a break even of 104. Been a good rookie, but probably time to move on, Brad.
Yep, move him on for sure.
Number eight, we've got Caden Cleary. The break even isn't horrendous with a 51. As he come up against the Crows, might be a handy green dot for you. But if this gets you to a premium, I don't have any complaints.
You summed that up well. I think he's a useless rookie anyway. He's going to get you 40 to 60 each week. So yeah, I'd trade him.
Yeah, absolutely. Number nine, Matty Carroll. Speaking of useless, oh my God, does my head in. 189. I guess he's playing, but who knows if he's back after the bye. I mean, called a final, could fine to hold or trade.
Yeah, either or in this one as well. Again, a lot of these rookies not over 200k haven't made enough money for you to generally bank anything for an upgrade. So yeah.
And number 10, we've got Sam Lawler. Unfortunately, has done a hammy out for 4 to 6. He's turned out to be a very solid rookie at the end of the day. But time to move on.
Yeah, move him on.
And just before we move on to the buys, what are your thoughts on Ryan Marich?
I think he's a hold. I just want one more look at it, to be honest. There's not enough, again, not enough cash specifically on my side to do anything with it. So, yeah, I don't know. I just want one more look at the role just because there was players like Waterman that went down the forward line, so they had to do something. So, for me, it's just one more week. You're probably going to lose 50k by looking at it, but I don't think it really matters. I'm sure you could probably go to a value primo if you needed to for one more week, just giving you a better idea of what's going to happen to him. So, probably looking at team sheets, I'm holding.
Yep, agree, mate. Agree with that. Let's talk about the most traded in. Number one, Campbell Gray for your boys. Defensive forward DPP, negative break even of 52. Comes in at 119. We're looking for rookies. How are we feeling on Gray, mate?
The bit of a shaky job security, but I've kind of figured it out that if he's playing with Bolter in the side and Trainer or maybe Sims gets dropped, then he might be okay. But yeah, I don't know. I'm very 50-50 and skeptical about this pick because he came out for Bolter straight away. But if he's named with him, then he's on the bubble with a negative break even. That's pretty decent as well. So he could be a shout. I just haven't worked out if I think he stays in the Tig side, and I'm a Tigers man. So very hard read for me as well. No idea.
Yep. Yeah. And as we head into this point of the year, the rookies just becoming questionable every week. Number two, some people might be looking going early at an Angus Clark. Do you prefer going early on him over a Campbell Gray or wait?
I don't know, almost because like he's named on the wing, and he can play back or forward. He's 189 centimeters. He's so he's versatile. I don't think he gets stitched up like an Archer Day Wicks. He's got the first game was a 97. Like you're not going to kick 3 goals every week against Ralph Smith or whoever it was, but yeah, so you probably could. But it's just if the DPP works for your forward and defence swing and your rookies are okay, you'd probably go Gray over him. I think these rookies are so team dependent, depending who you got on your bench. But yeah, I don't mind it.
Yep. Agree, mate. Number three, we've got Zach Merritt, the most traded in premium for this week, who plays tonight against the Lions. 553K. His midfield rate has gone up a fair bit over the past couple of weeks, so that's a green flag for him. But are we sold on Merritt at this price, Brad?
I've owned him for the last month and a bit. I'm not really sold because he's a little bit of a downhill skier in terms of scoring against worse sides than the good sides. But yeah, look, for the price, he's probably the guy. I actually probably prefer Dacos for those like myself that don't have him, or a Sarong type, even though Sarong's got the bye next week over a Merritt, which is a weird call. I just think Essendon are going to get pumped as well. So there's games he's going to drop really poor scores, which we've seen this season already.
He's got a bit of a tag run. He's got a few tags potentially coming up, but we've seen Merritt in the past smash through them. So yeah, it's an interesting one. I think it's fine to grab if you really like Zach Merritt there. Now this number's got to come down. Luke Jackson, and from what I've heard, Sean Darcy's playing this week, so I think this is a definite not jump on if that's the case.
Yeah, you wouldn't jump on just because he's got Wits as well, and then he's got Cherry after that, and yeah. Hopefully Darcy comes back because I missed the boat on Jackson. I knew he'd be a 1 week sort of play because he plays Visitini. He was always going to get a huge score. I probably predicted about a 150 in my head. But yeah, I don't know. Long term, Darcy's made out of plastic, so us as non-owners are probably hoping that Darcy sticks in the side. So yeah.
Yeah, spot on. So yeah, I think there's too much risk tagged with Jackson there. Number five is Wanganeen Miller. Does have the bye next week, but after a good performance last week, he is cherry ripe for the picking now. But I think it's perfectly fine to wait until after his bye. But I do think he is a good buy in general.
Yeah, I'd wait 1 week. His break even's 115 anyway, so you can get a gauge of how you're going to bring him in the week after anyway. It gives you one more look at it. So, but definitely a buy in, after his buy in round 14.
Absolutely agree. At low 500s, that is a bargain. Speaking of defenders in low 500s being a bargain, Max Holmes, Geelong's run home is absolutely insane. I am a massive advocate for Max Holmes. I think he's a great trade in.
Yeah, I think he's a great trade in too. I've been looking at him in my side, but I have to give up the farm for him. So yeah, again, he's owned in so much of the top 1%. I think it's almost 50% of the top 1%, something like that. So Fix is great, so he's probably a good option, and especially at the price and the DPP as well.
Yep, absolutely. Number seven, we've got Jack Sinclair, 573K. In my opinion, I feel like if you didn't grab him, you've missed the boat. People bought this pick because of that 3 week run and then the bye. And now they've got one of those three matchups and then the bye. So I don't know. I think you're better off just going Nass or Holmes than grabbing that because we want to be grabbing the next best scorer for that run home. And I don't know. I feel like this is a little bit of a misboat here.
Is a little bit of misboat, but I think he's actually probably the best VC and C option every week in your back line. So for me,
Yeah,
I'd actually
true.
pay up. You pay 573 for a guy you can VC every week. I don't mind it at all.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, 570 is still very attainable. Number eight, Kane McAuliffe. What's your read on this, Brad? I don't know.
Yeah, glad you asked me. But Prestia coming back. So it's interesting. But Dow's done a kneecap. He's out for 2 months. And then you got Whale, however it's pronounced, he's out for 3 weeks. So he's probably got the midfield to himself. Probably maybe third or fourth banana still behind a Hopper and Taranto, of course. So I can't get a huge read on it. He scored a 97 against North and Essendon, so hard to read into. I think he would have been a last week player if you're meant to jump on. But 287 is a little bit awkward for me, so no, but the role is there. I just don't see him getting to 400k before he's buy or anything like that. That's the issue.
Yeah, exactly. And such an awkward price to pay at this time of year. We got to get creative with Cashton, but I'm just not fully sold. So at number 9 as well, we've got Nick Martin, defensive forward. Obviously played really well last week, and a lot of people were trying to get him in. I think it's a jump on. 568k is a very good price for what he's for his role. His volume without Ridley is just mad. I really like the Nick Martin pick.
Yeah, funnily enough, I had sort of looked at a Jackson or a Martin that week, but I wanted to go Bolton to bank 118k. But if I wanted to spend all my money, those were the two guys last week for the sugar hit. The sugar hit again was for Martin for playing Richmond, and then Jackson with Vincentini. So it's hard to get a gauge of what they do from here on out. I suppose is my thoughts with these price points of those two players. Because Martin's due for one of those 50 scores at some point too, and this feels like the game he does it against Brisbane as well, mind you.
Yep.
So yeah, for me, Martin and Jackson were last week's flavour of the day. For me, I wouldn't be going either of them just because I think there's more value elsewhere. So a no for me.
Yeah, it can be quite the roller coaster, just like number 10 here, Jordan Dawson. Can deliver some belters, can deliver some stinkers. At 556k, it's reasonable price for what he can do, but yeah, just what do we think on the Dawson pick?
I think you're a week too late on this one as
Yeah.
well. West Coast was your guy to jump him. Does he get a Jordan tag? Jordan's probably like a foot shorter than him anyway, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not really sold on Dawson at 550. Maybe when he was like 520 again, you'd do it. But I like his fixture after the buys, after his buy specifically. So yeah, no to this week for me.
Absolutely. And yeah, that is jump on, jump off for this week. Thank you so much, Brad, for jumping on again. I know you're just about to head to work, so I do appreciate finding time for doing this video.
No worries, mate. I expect the bank check to be transferred tonight.
Oh,
Just kidding.
yeah, beautiful. Get the money rolling, mate. Thank you all for tuning in. Best of luck for round 12, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a good weekend, guys. Catch you.
Thanks.